and she says, I don't know how to love or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I can totally relate to that, because at the time I was kind of starting to learn how to love, but it was still difficult. Love is a very complex way of being. I'm not going to say emotion, but way of being. And I said, I can help you with that. I'm not good at it yet, but I'm learning how to love, and I can show you. And then the dream changes, and then we're in like a basement area that does not even look like my house, parents' house, and she enters one of the doors, and it's like as if she knows how to dream walk. And then we meet this girl, and she's trying to make something grow, some sort of golden tree, and she's making it grow, and she needs help. So I was actually told to stay back and not even come in through the door, and I went anyway. It's like it was in someone else's dream, and someone else's dream. It was a dream within a dream. And this, when I said something like, "Oh, I know Reiki" or something, and then I put my hand on the tree, willed it to grow. So I made a tree grow in a dream, kind of cool. And then they're like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh, thank you," and then we go back, and then I guess I wake up because I don't remember anything else. All right. So yeah, I'm hoping I'll find my twin flame someday, and not to be picky, if it's not my twin flame, fine. Just someone who I can really connect with. I'm straight. I like girls. Yeah. Something really weird that's going on, though, before I turn off this video, is that something like that is kind of happening already. People I meet, or don't meet, through the internet. Ever since I started making these videos, like maybe a week after, no, let me think. Okay, a month after I started making these videos, there's this thing called Springfest, and it seems like girls are starting to take notice of me. I don't even know if they noticed me before. I don't know. Kind of felt alienated, if you ask me, but it's like they're finally noticing me, and the only bad thing about it is the girls that I've noticed that are either taking interest or I'm just misperceiving. They don't seem like the kind of person I'd want to date, because it just doesn't. They don't meet my type specifications. Yeah, I mean, I don't care what color hair you are. You just got to be pretty, and there's no way of knowing if I'm gonna see you as pretty or attractive to me. I mean, because everyone has a different view on beauty. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so don't take it offensively, don't take it personally, it's how I am. One really cool thing, though, is that I had a girlfriend recently, from October 6th to December something. I had my friend Ben dump her because we have the same voice. I felt like there was an opportunity there. I don't want to have to hear her cry, so I'm gonna have Ben do it. Well, then when Ben did it, she didn't even cry. She just said, okay. She didn't even care. It was weird. But she had the exact same traits that I had wished in a girl before I even met her. On top of that, I met her in a dream before I met her in real life. We were holding hands in the dream. She said her name was Angela, and her name's Angela. Okay, I wanted us. This just doesn't really matter anymore, but a blonde, Aquarius like me. It gets weirder. A little bit shorter than me. I mean, some people like this, but I don't. I'd rather either see them eye to eye or a little bit downward, because I don't know. I don't know. It's just how I am. I mean, would you want to look at someone who's like way up there and you're just kind of crane your neck to talk to him? I mean, no, thank you. Okay, and then what else? Oh, she was attractive, like to my bleh, can't think of the word. Darn it. Okay, whatever. So then there's that, and then also I wanted to have the same illness as me, bipolar 1. I don't know. I think she did. She was very, very eclectic, eccentric and stuff, and she told me she took medicine for the exact same things, and I mean, it's just weird and interesting. It's like the universe listened to me. So if you're asking the universe, or you're asking God, or you're just praying for something to happen, if you do it enough times, it might just happen. Okay, some other synchronicities here is the Aquarius is the 11th sign in the zodiac chain, and then I waited 11 years for another girlfriend, and she showed up, and then she has Aquarius as her zodiac. What else? Yeah, so that's really interesting. Ugh, so I kind of wonder though why I got almost exactly the way I wanted it. It really shouldn't happen like that, right? I'd learn more if I didn't, but unfortunately she had to leave because she was too I don't know. I can't say it. It would be rude to say what she did, but I did not feel safe. Let's put it that way. I did not feel safe after a while, and I felt like she'd do the same things to me if she was doing them to her. So I dumped her. Okay. Have a good night. Oh, and right, to sum things up is, I believe I'm a fairy in a human body, not the. Okay, anyway, the fairy, like flying, and the definition of a fairy for me is a being that can do anything. It's not even limited to anything. It's like it can transform into a tree, a wolf, whatever, in an instant. It doesn't matter. You know, a lot of people associate fairies as these little small beings, but no, it's so much more than that. I mean, it may be even silly to try to distinguish fairies from trolls and all these different beings, because I mean, if a fairy can transform into anything, how can you classify it, right? Well, the cool thing is we're all like that. We just have these limitations because we've been brought up that way. I mean, like, for instance, if you hadn't been told what to do all the time while you were growing up, or go to school because you had to, and then go to school and do exactly what they tell you, your third eye would probably be open at this point, because you would remember and you wouldn't have forgotten all the things that you remembered when you were a baby. It's all conditioning and conforming and or confirmation. Wait, confirmation? Never mind. Conforming and trying to be with the crowd because you felt like it was necessary, like it was not right to be yourself. I know a lot of people have figured out that it's okay to be yourself, but even now we still have this conditioning, like we can't do things we want to do. Like even now, if I could, I would do this. Like right now. Transform, like make my ears longer or something. That would be so cool. My body actually did do that at one point. These people at the hospital said, why do you have those black dots on your over your eye? I was like, this. It looked kind of looked demonic, but it wasn't. I mean, technically a fairy is a demon, but it's like a positive version, but that still might not be true. I mean, people just like to classify things, label things, and put things into boxes. I mean, look at the news. If you look at the news, they're always classifying and labeling things, and they usually talk about things and report things about people dying. It's messed up. Okay. Wow, this video is longer than any other. 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 7 seconds. I just have a lot to talk about, I guess. Oh well. But yeah, the dots. Oh my gosh, tangents. They're so annoying. So there was black dots on my eyes that people noticed, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check that. So I went into the mirror in my room. I was in the hospital at the time. It was like I guess I was psychotic at the time, but I mean they were saying I did, so I checked, and there was a black dot, like circular, and they were like a little less than a centimeter in diameter each. And I tried rubbing it off first with my finger. Looked at my finger, nothing, no mark, no residue of whatever this is, and then I tried to get some hot water and I just kind of like mark it, like kind of get it off, and not even, and if it was a permanent marker, it would probably turned up as blue ink, you know, like that. I think that's what happens, but nothing was on the paper. It was completely just water and paper, like I had tried to clean with, and they weren't there when I woke up, because I remember looking in the mirror and they weren't there. But then later on the day, then I was having this and these dots. So I go back, and people are just looking at me kind of funny. It's like, what are those? And I'm just like, whatever, I don't know. Then when I go to bed, when I wake up the next morning, the dots are gone. They're just completely gone, like they weren't there. So what I get from that is, like the fairy, they can transform. My fairy self was trying to transform at the hospital. It's kind of funny. I mean, how could it do that with all the limitations that control me at this point? All the boundaries, all the limitations. It's awful. I want to be free. When I say free, I don't mean just being able to do what I want. That's physical. I want to do more than that. I'm a lot of the times in the clouds. I want to do stuff that maybe no one's done in this the history of humanity, including the Bible. New things. You know, Jesus. I'm pretty sure in one of the quotes of Jesus, he said that you will do, or maybe it was ye will do greater things than I. Meaning to me that, I mean, yeah, Jesus did some awesome stuff, and he had a wonderful message, but we will be able to do even greater things, meaning there's more out there. Don't just follow me. Don't even follow me. Just be yourself. I mean, I guess another way of saying it is be your own Jesus. I mean, don't be Jesus, but like, to get my point across, we are all one. Okay. And it's really silly to just follow something blindly, like the concept of God. You know, the concept of God in Christianity, it is not what I would want to believe. I used to. I was born a Methodist Christian. Yeah. Christian Methodist or Methodist Christian? I don't care. And the God in the Bible, according to them, this is how they perceived it, it's a judgmental God. A God that loves you, but judges you, and it must be done. Well, what if that's not true? Because it isn't. How could it be? Yeah, humans are judgmental. Who do you think wrote the Bible? Humans. They may have been spiritually inspired, but they still could make mistakes. And on top of that, what I'm saying is, if humans are judgmental, and God's supposed to be way better than us, like, according to the Christians, why would the God be just like a human? In fact, they portray him as this bearded guy, or whatever they perceive, but it's always a human-like attributes. You know, the devil, I mean, take the devil, it's like Lucifer, it's a being that looks like a human, but can deceive you and all that. So, like, they have these superhuman abilities, but they're pretty much people. What you're doing is you're personifying, not you, I'm sorry, whoever is doing this is personifying these forces that are perceived as good or evil. Like, a lot of people probably are afraid of the dark, just like the night, you know, like the night, dark, because of this thing called hell and Satan and demons. And then they're always trying to go to bed early or something. But, I mean, really, night is no better than daylight, okay? Because if you look at the moon, it's beautiful when it's out, I mean. But, I mean, everything has its own beauty, but there's actually more beyond beauty. Beauty is not just the end-all, be-all. It goes on to infinity. I keep saying that. But anyway, I hope, even though a lot of this was rantish, you got something from it. I mean, if you didn't, well, then let me know. Maybe I can try to improve it. But I mean, this is my first few videos, and I've pretty much conquered stage fright as far as a camera looking at me goes, knowing that, like, eventually millions of people would watch this. But so thank you for watching, and oh, I'm gonna ask another question. See if anyone can answer this. I have these two rocks. Whoa, where the heck? Oh, that's weird. Disappeared. That's not right. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so there's this rock here. Let's see if I can do this. It's like it's really cool. Let's see, I'm gonna hold it with the other hand. I have two rocks here, and I don't know what they are. I've been trying to look them up, and I can't find anything about them. This one looks kind of like a toy or something you would connect with, but it's not. It is an actual either crystal or rock, and if you can see it, it looks like a maze. Like, it goes into these mazy patterns. I don't know what it is, but it's rainbow. It's really cool. And then there's this. This is bigger. This is also a rainbow rock. I don't know what they're called. If you can tell me, that'd be great. Anyway, good night. Yeah. Good night.